When you look out over a utility-scale solar farm, the sheer footprint makes the system feel permanent and practically indestructible. When we build or buy into these systems, we direct almost all our due diligence toward the panels themselves, spending months vetting and securing premium Tier 1 brands. But the truth is, the panels are incredibly resilient. Over a standard 25-year lifespan, only about 1 in 2,000 will actually fail. The real threat to your investment lies somewhere else entirely. 85% of system downtime originates in the power conditioning and balance of system components. This chart graphs component cost against failure impact. You have the solar panels up top, high cost but very low failure rate. Down here in the danger zone are your DC cables, connectors, and fuses. These are the cheapest parts of the array, yet they cause the most frequent and catastrophic failures. All the millions spent securing premium panels are entirely wasted if you ignore the cheapest hidden components during procurement. Failures in DC cables and connectors represent a danger that extends far beyond simple energy loss. These faults are the primary source of active fire hazards in an array. Take a look at this connector. The excessive heat from a poor connection has completely melted through the plastic casing, leaving charred, exposed metal in its wake. Today, we will deconstruct the physical mechanics of why these specific components break down. By the end, you'll know exactly how to audit any installation for true 25-year bankability. Because regardless of how massive your solar array is, the entire operation is ultimately only as resilient as its weakest mechanical termination point. To build a system that lasts, we have to start with the rulebook. 2 international testing standards dictate solar reliability. This matrix divides the work. On the left, IEC 61215 tests reliability, subjecting components to 1,000 hours of 85-degree heat and brutal mechanical pulling. On the right, IEC 61730 acts as the safety baseline, testing for fire risks and proper physical clearances. When you mandate both of these standards, manufacturers are forced to prove their junction boxes and materials can survive a quarter-century of extreme environmental punishment. Official test reports document exactly how these components performed. This TUV Nord document verifies that safety clearances for electrical components were met. Passing this battery of tests guarantees external DC connectors and internal wiring meet strict tolerances before reaching the field. Demanding dual certification narrows your options and extends lead times, but it completely eliminates baseline manufacturing defects and secures lower insurance rates. Even with certified parts, field decisions can ruin the system. Installers on the roof are often tempted to save time by cross-mating different brands of MC4 connectors, assuming they are universally compatible. This cross-section shows the reality. On the left, perfectly matched connectors lock seamlessly. On the right, mismatched brands form an imperfect seal, creating microgaps between pins. Moisture inevitably enters, leading to rapid corrosion and high-resistance microarcing that generates intense localized heat. When installation crews compound this error by using generic, non-approved crimping tools to terminate the wires, a catastrophic failure is virtually guaranteed. Taking a shortcut with connectors saves labor today. Long-term, it introduces high-resistance faults that will melt components, start roof fires, and void your EPC warranties entirely. The wiring itself presents another major vulnerability. Contractors constantly face a choice when sizing long DC cable runs: use standard 4mm wire to cut costs, or pay a premium for the thicker 6mm option. This diagram demonstrates the physical penalty of the cheaper choice. As high current flows through both, the 4mm wire glows orange from the strain, while the 6mm wire easily handles the load and remains cool. Pushing high current through an undersized cable induces severe resistive losses, silently bleeding away 3 to 5% of your system's energy yield annually. There is also a severe environmental threat. Contractors sometimes substitute standard 70-degree electrical wire for mandatory solar-grade XLPE cables, which are rated for 90 to 120 degrees Celsius. Under extreme rooftop ambient temperatures, that inadequate polymer insulation becomes brittle and cracks open. If that bare wire touches a metal frame, it invites a lethal ground fault. Shaving fractions of a percent off initial material costs guarantees compounded revenue loss and severe safety hazards over the life of the system. To safeguard the system from those exact hazards, we rely on DC circuit breakers and fuses housed inside outdoor combiner boxes. But those safety devices are governed by thermal derating. As the temperature around them increases, their maximum current capacity physically drops. Watch this thermal derating curve. As the ambient temperature inside a sealed metal box climbs from 40 to 75 degrees Celsius, the DC breaker's capacity falls sharply. Entering this danger zone at 75% capacity triggers nuisance trips, shutting down your system during midday production. Ignoring this thermal derating causes the breaker contacts to eventually weld shut. When a real power surge hits, the protection mechanism completely fails. Simplistic electrical design without rigorous thermal calculations guts your ROI. You end up paying for expensive, recurring truck rolls just to reset or replace cooked breakers. Long-term solar success requires treating the cheapest, most mundane components with the highest level of technical scrutiny. If you are a residential buyer, stop obsessing over fractional wattage differences in panels. Demand proof that your installers are using true single-brand MC4 connectors and 6mm solar-grade cables. Commercial and utility investors need to mandate IEC 61215 and IEC 61730 certifications explicitly within the text of their supply agreements. Any language allowing compatible or equivalent components must be strictly stricken from all EPC contracts. Keep this scorecard framework handy. Use it to audit your own quotes in contracts to ensure every minor component maps to a mandatory standard before any work begins. Once the system is live, visual inspections alone are entirely insufficient to catch the degradation happening inside sealed junction boxes and conduits. Thermal imaging and IR cameras are mandatory annual inspection tools. They let you spot high-resistance faults long before they escalate. Thermal technology instantly reveals the invisible. A failing connector shows up immediately as a bright white-hot anomaly building up at a single cable junction. Spending a few $100s on thermal inspections prevents total system loss. The most profitable solar investments are built on mastering these unglamorous details.